Hello all, welcome to today's lecture. So in the last lecture, we learned about percentage, that is what is percentage, how to calculate percentage value, and we also learned different formulas of percentage, like how to convert a decimal or fraction into percentage, how to calculate overall percentage change when there is two successive percentage changes in value of any product or any certain event, right? Then other different applications of percentage we have learned using various formulas. So today we will solve some numericals, basic numericals, applying those formulas. So let us start. So the first problem says that the salary of an employee is increased by 10% in the first year and 20% in the second year. So if the initial salary is 30,000, what is the salary after 2 years? Right? So you can see that there are two successive increase in the percentage of the salary. So in the first year, the salary increased by 10%, and in the second year, the salary increased by 20%. So we have to apply the formula of successive increase. If you can recall, in the last video, last lecture, we have learned that when there is two successive increase, then we can, applying a specific formula, we can apply the overall increase in the percentage. So we will apply this formula, and the formula was the overall increase in this case will be, so suppose there are two successive increase. A is the initial increase in salary and B is the second increase in the salary. So the formula tells us it should be A plus B plus A into B by 100, right? So that is the applying this formula, you can get overall increase. What is the overall increase in 2 years, right? Percentage of overall increase of salary. So here A is, as you know, it's 10%. So in the first year, increase was 10%, and in the second year, the increase was 20%, right? So we will just substitute this two value. So first it will be 10 plus 20 plus 10 into 20 by 100, right? And it will give us 30, 20 plus 10, 30, and in the bracket 20 into 10, 200 by 100. 0, 0 will cancel out and we will be left with 2. So 30 plus 2, 32. So the increase, percentage increase, overall increase in salary will be 32%, right? Now we have to calculate when the initial salary is given 30,000, right? What will be the 30 over this 30% on this 30,000 salary, initial salary, the percentage increase was 32%, right? So we have to calculate what is the actual increase. So actual increase will be $30,000 plus, sorry, first we will find out the what is the increase in the salary given this percentage, because so far we have only know the percentage increase. So what is 32% of 30,000? That we have to find out. So 32 by 100, right? So 32% we have to find out 32% of 30,000. So 0, 0 will cancel out and we have to multiply 30 300, that is 300 into 32. If you multiply it, you will get 9600. So increase in salary. Now what is your new salary after 2 years? So my initial salary was 30,000. So this is my initial salary. My initial salary is 30,000, right? And increment after in 2 years, increment of my salary in 2 years is 9600. So increment is 9600. So what is the total salary after 2 years? So total salary will be this 30,000 plus 9600, which is 39600. So after 3 years, my salary will be, the actual total salary will be 39600. So you have to just apply this formula of successive percentage increase. So first you have to, applying this formula, you have to find out overall increase. So overall increase will come down to 32%. Then you have to find out what is the value of, you have to find out the value of 32% of this initial salary, which is 9600, and you have to add this up. This is the actual increase in 2 years. So what to find out the new salary, you have to add this increase with the initial salary. So 30,000 plus 9600, which will be 39600, right? So this is an application of the formula of successive increase in percentage. Next formula is about population, percentage of population increase in a village, and we have a specific formula for that. So the problem is, the population of a village grows at a rate of 8% per year if the current population is given, which is 15,000. What will be the population after 3 years, right? So there is a formula. I have already written the formula here. So the formula says that in case there is initial population or current population is given, then given the percentage change or growth rate of the population, you can find out population after n years. So this is the formula to find out population after a specific year. So here we have taken n years to generalize it. So here P is the current population or the initial population. R is the growth rate, right, which is given in this, as per this problem, 8% is the growth rate. And what is you have to calculate total population after 3 years. So n year is 3, right? And initial population is given 15,000. So you have growth rate, which is R, 8%. How many years? You have to find out population after 3 years. So n is 3, and initial population, which is P, right? P is the initial population in this formula, which is given as 15,000. So just substitute these values in this formula and you will get your answer. So let us see. So we will call it P3 because we are interested to find out what will be the population after 3 years. So it will be P. We can denote it by P3. So first we have written, as per this formula, we have written the initial population, which is 15,000, into, in the bracket, you have to write 1 plus 0.08. So R was your 8%. So 8% means actually 8 by 100, right? And 8 by 100 means 0.08. If you divide this, you will get 8 by 100 is 0.08. So we have directly written here 1 plus 0.08 whole to the power 3. Why 3? Because we are interested to find out population after 3 years. So n here is 3. Okay, so you have to simplify it. So first we will work whatever is there inside the bracket as per the operator formula. So 1 plus 0.08 will give you 1.08 whole to the power 3. So first we will do this part. We will solve for this part. And 1.08 whole to the power 3 means you have to multiply this 3 times. You have to multiply this particular value 3 times because it is whole to the power 3. So 1.08 whole to the power 3, you have to multiply it by 3 times and you will get some value approximately which will be equal to this, right? Now final solution. So you already got this value. So 15,000 into this value will give you finally, you have to do a lot of multiplication here. That is true. But just applying this formula, your sums will be more easier, right? So 15,000 into this 1.08 whole to the power 3 will give you this. And approximately you will get, if you multiply 15,000 into 1.25, you can take till second decimal point, after second decimal point also, and you will get this value of final increase in population. So this will give you the final increase of population. So first you have to identify in this problem that what is your P, what is the value of P, what is the value of R, what is the value of N. Once you will identify it, you will just substitute all this value and you have to do a bit of multiplication. Okay, and then you will finally reach to this value. Okay, let us move to the next problem of percentage. So a person's income increases by 12% and their expenses increases by 8%. So there is both increase in income as well as increase in their expenses. So if their initial income was 75,000 and initial expenses was 60,000, what is the new savings? So first I should tell you that formula for savings is any person's income minus their expenditure. Whatever is your total income, if you subtract expenditure from that income, you will get savings. So we have to find out the savings, new savings level after the increase. So first we will find out the new income. That should be our objective first objective, that we have to find out new income. And how we will find out the new income? It will be, so there is 12% increase in their new income. So 75000 into 12% increase. So 12 by 100. So this will cancel out, 0 will cancel out, and if you multiply 750 into 12, it will give you 9600, right? So this is the increment. Okay, this is not the total new income. So this is only the 12% increment which is equal to 9600, right? So how I will find out the new income? So I have to add this increment with my initial income. My initial income is 75,000. So my new income plus the increment, 12% increment, will give me the it will be 9,000 actually. So 75,000 plus 9,000 will give me the increment of my salary, the total, the new salary, which is 84,000. If you add this two, you will get 84,000, right? Same I have to find out new expenditure. So to calculate new expenditure, first we have to find out what is the increment in expenditure. So 8% is the increment in expenditure and initial expenditure was 60,000. So 8% of expenditure increases on 60,000. So my initial expenditure was 60,000 and now there is 8% increment. So how much is the increment in total value, right? That we have to find out. So same formula, 60,000 into 8%. So that is 8 by 100. So 0 will cancel out. 8 into 6, 48, and 2 zeros will be there. So 4,800 or 4,800 is my increment in expenses. So what is the new expenses? So new expenditure, now my new expenditure is initial expenditure plus the increment. So this is the increment amount 4800, which will give you 64800, right? So this is my new expenditure. So this is my new expenditure and this is my new income. So if you want to know my new savings level, you have to subtract as per this formula, income minus expenditure. So you have to subtract new expenditure minus new expenses, new income minus new expenses. So that I'll do here. So I'll just write it here. My new savings will be 8400, which is now my new income, minus new expenditure, that is 64800, which will give me 19,000. If you subtract this and calculate the value, it will give you 19,200. So that is my new savings level. So first I have to apply this formula that savings is always equal to income minus expenditure. So you have to find out new income, where you have to apply 12% increment, and then you have to find out new expenditure, where you have to apply 8% of increment in expenditure. And when you will find out new income and new savings, then you have to subtract those two and you will get your answer, right? So let us move to the next problem. So this problem says that Mrs. Gupta received a prize money. She decided to allocate it as follows. So we don't know how much prize money she has got, right? So she donated 20% of the amount to a charity. She spent 50% of the remaining amount on a family trip. The remaining 8,000, so after spending on after donating 20% and remaining 50% spending on family trip, the remaining amount was 8,000. So the remaining 8,000 was used to buy a gift for a daughter, right? So how much we have to find out the original prize money that Mrs. Gupta has received. So okay, so in this kind of problem, we have to initially assume something. So we will start with the assumption of original prize money. You can either assume that it is X, or for better understanding or simple understanding, you can assume that let original prize money is 100. So first we will assume that, since it is given in percentage, we will assume that let the original prize money she has received is 100. Now out of this 100, she has spent 20%. That is, since it is, we have already assumed 100 and 20% means out of 100. So we can directly say that she donated 20 out of this 100 for charity. So for charity, so after charity, how much she is left with? So 100 was his initial prize money and 20% of 100, that means 20 in absolute value, since we have assumed 100 here. So 20 of out of 100 she has initially spent for charity. So how much she is left with? She is left with 80 rupees now. Okay, so we have assumed 100 rupees she has received as original prize money. Now after charity, she is left with 80 rupees. Okay, second information is that she spent 50% of the remaining amount on a family trip. So we have to find out what is the 50% of this remaining amount. So for family trip, how much she has spent? For family trip, it will be 50%. That is, 50% means half half of this remaining amount, not 100. You have to be very cautious that it's not 50% of 100, but 50% of the remaining amount. So remaining amount here is after charity, the remaining amount is 80. So 50% of 80 she has to spend on family trip. So half of 80 will be 50% of 80. We don't need to calculate it because we know that half of 80 will be 40. Right? You can apply the same formula like 80 into 50 by 100. 0 will cancel out and you will get 40. So 40 rupees she has spent on family trip. So for charity she has spent 20 and for family trip she has spent for 40. Now what is the final remaining amount? So final remaining amount is 100, because 100 is her total prize money, minus 20 she has initially spent for charity, and after that 40 she has spent for family trip. So the final remaining amount is 100 minus 40 plus 20 is 60, and 100 minus 60 is 40. Right? So final remaining amount is 40. When your income we have assumed, when his prize money we have assumed 100. So 40 is remaining amount when his prize money is 100. So we will again apply, if you can recall, the proportion equality of two ratio or proportionality formula, if you can recall it. So there we have done lot of we have solved lot of problem using this technique. So 40 is the remaining amount when her prize money is 100. So for after all this, 40 is the remaining amount when our prize money is 100, which should be equal to, and in the original case, when we don't know about her original prize money, in actual case, the remaining prize amount was 8,000 and we don't know what is the original price. Right? So this kind of problem we have solved earlier under proportion and applying proportionality formula. So here one ratio is given, which is 40 by 100, and here another proportion is given where we don't know about the second term. So in this ratio we know about both the first term and second term, but in this case we don't know about the second term, right? So we have to find out this term, and how we did it in the previous problem. So we have to find out what we have to multiply with 40 so that we will get 80,000. 8,000. So we have to multiply 40 with some amount so that we will reach 8,000, and the same amount you have to multiply with this 100 assumed, which is assumed original price money. So 40, so how much we have to multiply? For that we have to just simply divide 80,000 by 40, which is 40 into 2 is 80, and zeros will be added here. So 200. If you multiply 40 by 200, you will get 8,000. That we have got from this division. So since you are multiplying the first term with 2000, to maintain this equality, you have to multiply 100 also, that is the second term of this ratio, also by 200 to maintain this equality. Right? So how much is 100 into 200? 100 into 200 will be 20000. That is 20,000. So by applying this method of proportionality, you can find out the original price money. Because when your original price money was 100, your remaining amount is 40. And in the text it is given that the original remaining about is 8,000, but you don't know about the original price money. So this second term is absent. So to find out the second term, you have to apply this proportionality rule, and by applying the common multiplier, okay, by finding out the common multiplier and multiplying by the same multiplier, you can find out this original price money. So my original price money will be 20,000. Okay, this is how you can find out. You can apply different formulas of percentage and you can solve numericals. Now in the next video, which will be very interesting, we will solve few sample questions and also previous year questions of CLAT exam, which will, I think, which will be very beneficial and important for you, where we will apply both formulas of ratio and percentage. So it will be actually combination of ratio and percentage, and those I mean those kind of numericals were there in your previous CLAT exam, so it will be very beneficial for you. So let's meet in the next video. Thank you very much.